Welcome everyone. I'm really excited to dive into this topic today with you, which is to have faith beyond logic so that we can experience our blessings. And this is a topic that all of us experience. We all experience delays. We all experience mistrust in God, in the creation, in the universe, in life to a degree or another. We all doubt, we sabotage, right? Many times we desire something and then our insecurities tell us we are not worthy of that. We do not deserve that. We feel shame. Often we feel shame for desiring something. We feel shame for wanting even more money. We think it's selfish. We think we should have less. There's so many stories beyond why we actually delay our blessings, right? And all of them have to do with our belief system, what we believe about our blessings. Do we deserve to receive blessings? Do we deserve to have the life that we want, really? The experiences that we want? And so there's a lot to say to it, and I have a few things that I want to share about it. Like basically 5 points that I'm going to touch upon today. And I'm going to share one by one in an intuitive way. You might not even know that that's the next point. And this is just for you to know that I have a clear structure around this, that I understood on how to manage those moments in my life, how to go through those moments in my life when I see that my blessings are delayed, when I see that nothing happens, when I'm in this place of uncertainty and almost like everything is stalled, everything is in a standby, right? How to deal with this. This is the most uncomfortable moments we can be in, right? If you think about it. You don't know. You don't have control. You don't know when your next client is going to come. Some people don't know if they're going to pay their rent this month or not. We don't know if our relationship with our lover, if our partner, if our kids are going to show up for that thing that they committed for. There's so many things. We don't know if we're going to take action upon in the creation process that we have committed to. Another example, we don't know if we're going to let's say we started a business and we don't know if that business is going to be successful or not, right? There's so much uncertainty, and when we lead from that place of not knowing, what happens is we are creating an energy of worry, and worry is actually a prayer. To worry is a prayer of fear. When you pray to fear, then guess what happens? Your blessings get delayed. They get pushed away from your experience, right? And this is what happened. We have these stories, these narratives, these things about it, but of course there is some timing. There's some timings, depends on what you want. There's a timing for that to come into your experience. There's many things involved, but usually we push them away with our negative mind, with our worries, with our doubts, with our insecurities. That's what I do. That's what I did. That's what most people I work with do. Again, this is based on my own experience. This is based on what I'm seeing working with people and being like a student of life and the universal laws for many years, since I know myself, actually. Okay, so Okay, what do we need to know in this process? When we don't have faith, when we don't have faith beyond logic, and when we push our blessings away, when there is uncertainty and our blessings do not show up in our experience, we need to learn first thing is that this is the greatest test. This is the most powerful time that we can find ourselves in. This is a moment when any energy, any action or non-action, any decision, any intention you put into this process, this is the moment when it is decided how fast your blessing is going to come into your experience. It is decided if you succeed or not in whatever you are trying to accomplish. That is how powerful that moment is, because let me tell you something. In the place of uncertainty, in the moments of the unknown, that is where our power gets weaved into. That's when we are the most powerful. That is when we are the most tested at the same time. Because if you can hold the frequency of faith and certainty in that time, or trust, then that is exactly what determines if your blessing is gonna come or not. As simple as that. That is the moment when it is determined if you are gonna be successful in what you're doing or not. Your blind faith, as I like to call it, your blind faith and trust in the process is that moment. I know it can sound like cliche, right? Because we hear that. Well, how can I have, what do you mean you just need to have faith? Of course there's action before that, and when I'm speaking about this topic, it implies that you already did what you needed to do in order for for that blessing to show up in your life. It implies already that. This is just, I'm speaking directly to the moment when you already did anything you could, anything in your power, and that thing, that blessing, that things that you're expecting is still not coming. This is what this is all about. Okay, so that is the most powerful moment you can find yourself in. Because if you choose to have faith in those moments, and you tell the Creator, you tell life in that moment that you are whole and complete without that thing. You do not rely upon that thing to fulfill you. Because usually what we do is that we attach to that thing to feel good. We attach to that thing that we want, to that blessing, to fulfill some part of us. But when you say, I have faith and I have certainty, and then you can feel that in your body, then you are telling life that you are whole, that already happened. And you are whole whether you receive that or not. And when you can do that, then that thing is gonna pop into your experience sooner or later. It depends what it is, right? It's not the same thing applying to everything. It depends what it is. If you're calling in a client, let's say you're a mentor or a coach and you're calling in a client, then that can happen in literally 1 hour, in 1 minute from that point. Boom, it can just happen that way. If you are prepared, if you already do this, and if you already know this and did it before, it can happen in 1 second, in 1 moment. If it is something that has to be built, there's some processes before that thing can arrive in your journey, then obviously it's a little bit more delayed. It depends. Each case is different. So it is super important to have faith in those moments of uncertainty beyond logic, to really deeply connect with that place of faith. And how do we do that? That is the question. Well, what do you mean? I don't receive this thing. I don't trust that it's going to come. What do you tell me, Alex? How can I have faith in something I don't see? Well, that is the magic trick. That is the magic trick. You have to have faith before you see it. That is how the laws of attraction work. I didn't make the rules of this. You know, we cannot change the rules of this. This is how it works. The only thing that you can do in that time is to prepare your body, your nervous system to constantly trust, to constantly be in a good space, to not worry, and on the contrary, to pray. So if anything, pray for that thing that you want. Pray not from a place of begging, not from asking, oh, I want the thing. God or the Creator, can you give me the blessing already, because I'm waiting. It's about time. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not a prayer. That's begging. Praying is to ask the Creator, to ask God, the universe, source, life, to give you anything you need to stay strong and to keep the faith. That's how you pray. You pray for the thing that you need in order for that to arrive into your experience. The thing that you have to have integrated. So when you have faith, when you say, this is going to happen because I trust and I believe in it and I know it and I can feel it, then that thing is going to happen. It is law. It is how it works. As simple as that. Does this make sense? Is this making sense for you guys? This is simple laws of attraction. So the point is that in that moment, when we doubt the most, that's the moment when we have to trust the most. We have to just alchemize that. We can allow the doubt to take over, because that's how we delay it a day more, a week more. You know, that's what happens. So there has to be a point when the shift happens and we shift from faith with reason, because what would be the reason? Oh, I already took the action, I already did everything I needed to do, I already took all the steps I need and still I don't see it. Well, this is why it's called faith beyond logic. Because it doesn't have to have a reason. You just have to have it. You know. It's how it works. Now another thing in this process that I personally learned to always do, sometimes I'm not doing it, sometimes I'm failing to do it, or I forget, or I just take it on the side, or I ignore it, and that's okay. It means it means I don't have to. I see it that way. It means I don't have to. But most of the time we actually have to. So let's say that you have prayed for more clients, or you pray for a raise at your work, or you pray for your partner to finally align with you and understand what your needs are, or you prayed for you called into your experience something that finally you want to experience, whatever that is. So the moment we attach to that and we say, well, I want it, I'm attached to it, I want it, I just, how can I let it go? How can I work with this? The more you stay attached, the further away you push that away. Right? So the more we want it from that place of craving it and wanting to take it, the more we push it away. And again, that can be your partner, that can be your soulmate that you're calling in, it can be a job, a new job, it can be a raise at your current job, it can be a new client, it can be many things, all the things. It can be, changing behavior that you want to see in your child. The more you are attached to it, the more you further away you push that away. Period. And what we are attaching to, we always lose. Okay? We always lose what we attach to. We lose. Why? Because we are telling the Creator, we are telling life, we are telling God that there's something more important than our connection with the Creator, with our power, because the Creator is our power. We are powered by the Creator. The Creator is inside of us. It's not something external. But it also exists everywhere and in everything. And so, the moment you put something more of a priority than your own power source, then of course you lose it, because it is impossible to have someone or something more of a priority of your power, of your energy, than you, than the Creator. It is impossible. So you basically outsource your own power and say, I'm going to be connected with this power, which is the job expectation that you have, the client expectation that you have. You give your power away to a client that might save you. You give the power away to your life partner that might feed you and love you. And that's not how it works. Then the moment we do that, we are outsourcing, we are cutting ourselves from our own source and give it away to something else, to something external, to something that we have no power and control over. And so we lose it. And actually, who cuts that from our life? The universe, life cuts it. It removes it from our lives. It makes everything possible so that that doesn't exist anymore in our experience, because we have attached to something external of ourselves that we are not supposed to attach. We are supposed to share our power with our partner, with our client, with our boss who's gonna give us the raise. Not supposed to rely upon it with our life and outsource ourselves and give all of our energy to it because of the worry, because of the need to be loved, need to be rewarded, need to be seen, because we live in lack, basically. So we have to, the Creator is going to give us luck if we outsource our power, because the power is always with us. It's always within us. It always was and it always will be. We are always whole and complete, even when we are healing, even when we are in deep processes of healing. We are constantly whole and complete. We are never missing anything. We are always good enough. We are always filled with the energy of the Creator. Each time we remember that that is our source, we immediately, instantly have it. It is that simple. You don't even need to do a spiritual practice for it. You don't even need to meditate. The meditation allows space for that to be received and acknowledged, yes. The singing, the music allows for remembrance to happen, so that you remember, I am connected, I am whole, I am the Creator myself. So each time, every single day, I started to do a practice about, when was that, like maybe 4 months ago. But wait, I'm lying. I'm not 100% honest now. It's not every single day. I wish it would be every single day, but it's not. But it's like every time I remember, as often as I can. And it was for every single day for a while, right? But then I let it go. But each time, and this is a new, like, a new reminder for myself. Each time before we go to bed, we have to let go of everything. We have to let go of everything. We have to do a practice, a prayer, whether you write it in a journal, whether you sit with a candle in front of you and look into that candle and say, Creator, because the fire is the power of the Creator. The fire is the Creator energy. It's pure light. The fire doesn't cast shadow. It's pure light. So you look into the fire, or however you want, do it in your own way. Meditate. Just tell yourself, remove any attachment that I have created throughout this day, throughout this week, throughout this mind that I have that creates attachments, which it's okay, I love and I accept. But release and let go of any attachment that I have. Not because I don't want to have it anymore, because you will have it. That doesn't mean you let go of the person. That doesn't mean you let go of your job. It just means you are removing the attachment. You are stopping to externalize your power and give it power, right? And it can be something that you love. I do that when I wrote my book, this book. When I wrote this book and finished it and published it, that's what I did. I had to let go of it because I was attaching to it. Oh, that is my creative project, that is my purpose, that is this and that. No, you have to, like, every night remove it. You know why? And I asked, because I received this as a guidance, and I asked her, I was like, why do I have to do this? This makes no sense. Like, I want to give energy to the things I care about, right? Yes, and you will. Like, there was a clear answer. I was in a meditation asking for, guidance on this topic. Like, how? Like, why? What? It doesn't make sense. And the answer was, because when you let go of everything, you can actually be fed. Your energy can be replenished. Your battery can be refilled with the most purest energy and purest creative power without you trying to figure it out. Because when you go to sleep subconsciously, you are processing in your dream state all of the things that you were busy 1 hour before, or maybe throughout the whole day before you went to sleep. So you're processing all of those things, all of that energy. Imagine how much energy is, if you have attachments, strong attachments, things that you feel sad and worried and doubt, and if you have those things and you go to bed with those things, imagine how much energy it takes for your system to process all of that and remove that. So hours maybe, and at some point when it does, then you're only left with just a little bit of energy to be replenished, right? Because your entire system was busy. And so the purpose of sleeping is to be replenished, is for your batteries to charge, right? And when you can let go of anything and you can go to sleep as if you are completely empty, then that's when you get refilled. That's when the Creator pours the most powerful energy, the most pure form of creativity through you, and you wake up replenished with energy, with life force. And guess what? Then you can invest that energy into whatever thing that you are interested in, whatever thing you want to create, whatever blessing you want to manifest, whatever stuff you are involved in and you want to achieve in that night, before that night. So you can invest that energy further into your projects, into your processes, into anything, but you have to let it go every single night. Otherwise, you're gonna lose it, because it will be taken by force from you, because you're saying that I'm externalizing my power. I give too much power to this, too much power to this partner, this relationship, to this creation, to this project, to this job. Oh, and then you lose actually power. Okay, another thing, when we don't experience our blessings, when we have delay, when we have uncertainty, and we are in this place of standby and we don't know what to do, sometimes we are desperate, sometimes we need to pay bills, we need to, we have commitments, we have things to that we are responsible for, and we are in this space where we don't know what happens. Another thing that we have to do in that time is to evaluate what are we actually committed to, to take a look of all the things that we are committed to, all the things that we fuel with our time and energy, and see, do we still want it? Do we want that thing that we are so much invested in? Is this actually good for you? Or is it another attachment that we created? Because sometimes it doesn't come because it's not supposed to. So people ask me, well, how do you know? How do you know when that thing is supposed to be for you? And how do you know when it is an attachment? And, because it can be the same thing. For both of these things, it may be that you are not receiving them, right? Even if it's good for you. So how do you know? How do we know? How do I know? Is by feeling. I take that creation, that blessing that I want to have, I want to experience, I take it into my heart. I literally put it in my heart, and I'm experiencing how I feel about it. How do I feel about it, right? So let's say if that is my partner, my soulmate, I'm taking my soulmate back in my heart, whether I met that person or not. It happens that I did, but in the past I didn't, right? And I just had a specific frequency of someone that I wanted to have in my life, and so I would put that frequency, run it through my system, and feel, how do I feel about it? And if there would be no excitement, if there would be no excitement anymore, I would let it go. And the same goes with a promotion, or more abundance, more prosperity. I'm running that amount. Maybe we are fixated on an amount. Maybe we want, as a coach, as a mentor, there's always this thing that I'm experiencing in this industry, because I'm a coach and a mentor myself. This is one of my roles of how I operate in the world, and I'm experiencing a lot of talks about this topic, and people speak a lot about 10k amount, 20k amount, how to make 50k amount, all of these things, and we attach to these amounts, right? And so I personally, sometimes I attach to that amount too, because I want to have a consistent, stable income of whatever per month. So I put that amount in my heart, in my body, and I run it through my nervous system, to my feelings, and see how do I feel about it. And if I feel resistance, if I feel I don't want this, maybe I want more, maybe I want less, maybe it came from a place of not being in integrity fully with myself and where I'm at, trying to force it, then I let it go. So this is a chance, when our blessings are delayed, is a chance to look at what we have called in and recommit to it, or let it go. In all of the cases, it is good to let it go completely. In all of the cases, because chances are that if you really, really, really want that thing, then it's going to constantly come back. You cannot escape what wants you. And usually what you really, really want, what you deeply want, wants you back. So you cannot escape that. That's gonna happen, whether you want it or not. It's just our resistance that decides when. It's our readiness that decides when. And this is why it's important in this time of uncertainty and when the blessings are not coming, to have faith beyond logic and let go of everything. Let go of the stories, let go of everything. Now, of course, there are reasons why we create this doubt, why we create worries, why we create separation between what we want and who we are, and when it's coming in our experience. There's reasons, and most of those reasons is how we are raised, right? The stories we believe when we are young. Did you have parents that uplifted you, that made you believe in yourself? Or did they doubt you? Did they told you that you're not worthy of that you're not good enough, that you should do this instead of that? Or like, what is your experience as a child growing into this world, right? Where we have been told how to do things, what to do, what not to do, what is good, what pays, what doesn't pay you. So many people are told, well, don't become a singer because that doesn't pay for your marriage, that doesn't pay for your life, that doesn't provide for you. Don't become a singer, right? Don't chase your dreams because that's not safe, that is not secure enough. And then other people are like, okay, I'm actually gonna completely chase my dreams and not care a thing about what I heard from my parents, from society, from whoever. And guess what? They make it. They make it as musicians. They make thousands of dollars. It's not even about money. They don't have to worry at all about it. And we can see that in the music industry. People that all of a sudden go viral and produce really amazing music, and even if the music is not that amazing, maybe we don't like that, but other people do. However, the point is that they had faith beyond logic and they just went for it. That is the point. They had faith beyond logic and they went for it, and therefore they experienced their reality. While we are sitting in the sitting and watching how those people live their best lives, or how at least they go for what they want. Maybe that doesn't mean they are happy, but it doesn't matter. They accomplished the blessing. They accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, right? So it's important to watch what stories do we believe. Where do we have those stories? Where do we inherited this narrative? And really dig deeper into it. Not to justify, but to let it go. To say, this is not mine. This doesn't belong to me, because this holds me back. And because I don't want to believe this narrative, I don't want to believe this story anymore. I'm so much more than that story. I deserve to live the life I want. I deserve to receive. How many of us really feel that we deserve a great life, healthy, being loved, loving others, experiencing fun and joy? These are things that we all want, and maybe 10% of people experience this on a day-to-day basis. Most people are sad on this earth, unfortunately. I guess to justify why people are sad is because we are living in systems that are not adding to and are not uplifting us and empowering us. Are not adding to who we are. They are made from survival mode. They are made from scarcity. They are made from lack. They are made to harness your life force our life force. And we have to rewire these systems. We have to recreate them to shift, to change. But that happens from within, you know. Otherwise, we are just batteries. We are just products. And this is not what we want to be. This is not what I want to be. It's not like, can I leave that? I tried, you know, I tried, and I learned lessons through it. But I don't want to be a battery. I'm a creator, and therefore I create the reality I desire. I make it happen. And there's a dark side to this process too of creation, because, you know, we haven't been taught how to do it. We haven't been taught what works, what doesn't work. We have to go through the path. You have to walk the journey, and often the journey is not illuminated. No one walked in your shoes and in my shoes. So we need to walk through whatever season, whatever cycle, however much rain it is, or how much hot and sunny it is on the path. We still have to walk the path. And another thing that I want to share in this process of, you know, when our blessings are delayed, and when we are uncertain and don't know what to do, is to only take, in these moments, you do not take action from force and scarcity and control and, oh, let me do this and let me do this another thing, let me make sure I do everything, you know, from this place of controlling. No, you take action from really inspiration and alignment. So the best thing to do is to just connect back to yourself and feel that you are okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You are whole. Just because that thing doesn't show up in your life doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, because we take that so personally, right? We're like, oh, I must have been doing something wrong. I must have not taken the right action. I must this and that. That might or might not be true, but it's not about that. It's about how do you show up in that moment. And in that moment, you can show up with a different action that is inspired from alignment rather than force, rather than control, rather than freaking out, you know, rather than, you know, coming from that place of fear and lack and scarcity. I personally don't even leave my house if I'm in a place of lack. I stay there until I'm replenished again. Or I go in nature. Nature accepts us for whatever we are. Nature just doesn't judge. That's when we replenish. So this is what I wanted to share about this whole process. I guess this is it. And I want to invite whoever feels a connection, a resonance, to dive deeper into what you are creating, what you're building, what you're really excited to experience in this world, in your life. If there's a mission, a deeper purpose that calls you, I want to invite you to connect, like, directly with me and send me a message and see how I can support you, how I can add to that, share where you are, share your journey. Have a blessed rest of the week and weekend. Ciao for now and much love.